Hello everyone, welcome back to the session. We are going to continue speaking about Excel, which is part of second semester foundation course number 3, unit number 5, computer fundamentals and office tools, and within which we are doing Excel. We started this yesterday, so if you take a quick look in terms of the uses that we spoke about yesterday in terms of number crunching, creating charts, organizing lists, creating graphic and diagrams, and automating complex tasks. This is what we saw yesterday. And then we looked at the features of Microsoft Excel. Though we are talking about 2007 version, this is pretty much common, where you can make a database list, you can make a worksheet, you can make charts. We looked at the capabilities and limitations of Excel. Capabilities primary in terms of number of columns, which can create 16,384 columns. We can create rows, humongous number, which is 1,48,576 rows is what we can create. I told you how to open Excel. You can click on the start button and click on Excel from the pop-up, or you can directly type Excel. We looked at the entire Microsoft Excel screen, where the topmost screen on the left side is the MS Office button, which allows you to open a file, save a file, so on and so forth. We looked at the quick tool, the quick access toolbar. We looked at the entire functional ribbon that I will do a refresher right now. This is the formula window, where you enter the formula. You can also type your text here. These are the columns and these are the rows. Wherever the cursor is, that is the active cell. We have the vertical scroll bar and we have the horizontal scroll bar. We also looked at the sheets. By default it opens 3 sheets. We can open 256 worksheet, each sheet containing different data. You can also link these sheets. I will tell you that today. And in terms of the functionality ribbon, the toolbar ribbon, when you click on a picture, only then you get certain functionalities like this formatting tool. All right. Otherwise, you have the format, you have the insert button, from where you can insert a shape, you can insert pictures, you can definitely insert a graph. That is the most important part of MS Excel. It allows you to create different kind of graphs. I showed some of the examples yesterday. The page layout allows you to change the page aspect. You want to keep it landscape, you want to keep it portrait. And the next one, we looked at the formula ribbon. This is the most functionally intensive aspect of MS Excel, where you can create custom formulas. You can use some of the inbuilt formula. That is what we will talk about today. The data ribbon allows you to filter, to sort information, ascending, descending order. I showed this yesterday. You can also group an information. The review allows you to make changes and to track changes. For example, you have created a document. When somebody else is making changes, they enter the information in terms of comments, and you can go back and check. Review also allows you to make changes based on the identification in terms of spelling. You can identify your spelling mistake. And the views, here you can have either a page layout view, you can have a normal view or a page break view. You can either want to see the ruler, you want to hide or unhide the grid lines, the formula bar, the headings. All this changes you can do from the view button. Then we spoke about the mouse pointer on Excel. Depending on what function you are performing, the mouse pointer changes. By default, you will always see the mouse pointer. Now, wherever I am moving the cursor, this broad plus sign comes. If I am changing the width of the column, that is when I get this particular sign. And if I am changing the breadth of the rows, the height of the rows, then my mouse cursor changes to this, right? If I am moving one cell to another, the up and the 4 directional arrow key comes, I can just move the cell. For example, if I have entered a data here, when I'm moving it, the cursor style changes, right? Now, if I'm dragging in terms of autofill, since the number 1 is there, it will automatically pick 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I got the thin cursor pointer here, and I need to drag it from the corner of the cell. That is how it works. Then we have the resizing in terms of diagonal. For example, if I'm inserting a particular image or a shape, if I'm making changes diagonally from any of the 4 corners, that's when I will get this diagonal arrow. It can be left or right depending on from which side I'm trying to drag it. Then I have the I-beam and insertion point. If I'm inserting any information here, that's when I get this elongated line cursor which keeps blinking. And wherever I'm moving the cursor within this cell, let me expand this a little more. So wherever I'm moving the cursor, you see that I-beam, see I'm moving this right now. So that's the I-beam, but it's blinking here because that's where the cursor point is. Wherever I bring the cursor point, wherever I've clicked it, it will keep blinking. I showed you how to create a workbook. You go to open, new, and you can also create templates. I want to show this again just for your information. So I can click on the MS Office icon, new, and I can use any of the installed templates. Templates are nothing but pre-created document. You just have to add data. Yesterday I showed you the example of EMI calculation. I showed you the example of billing statement. There is another one which is blood pressure. Now the target, it says, is 120/80. It's automatically entered. Now here I have the entire sheet. I can enter the time and enter the values whatever I get. So these are simple templates which is pre-built. All right. Then I have time card which gathers information, what time an employee is coming, what time they are going, what exactly they are doing, overtime, sick leave. Basically it also tracks, works like a leave tracker. Then expense report or loan amortization. Loan amortization is the EMI sheet which I was talking about yesterday. When you add an information, then automatically it starts showing data. Say for example, I enter a loan amount of 10,000 with an interest rate of 5%. The loan period in terms of years, right? So I'm saying 1 year. Number of payments per year is, I'm saying 4, means every quarter. Start date of the loan, that is tomorrow. And optional extra payment, I'm saying nothing. Lender name, HDFC. All right. The moment I come here, so automatically it will show me which date I am supposed to pay, what is my scheduled payment. Since I am saying first of the month, so every month I will have to pay this much amount. The total amount paid is this. This is the principal amount, interest, how much I am paying, and it shows the cumulative value, what has been paid. All right. So you can track pretty much everything in this sheet because that is how the template is created. And you can also create a blank template if you want. That is also possible. Billing statement, expense report. So these are various kind of templates that we saw yesterday. All right. If you want to create a new one, obviously you will open a blank worksheet and the save option. I showed you how you can save the data. You can also save a particular sheet as a PDF file. Say for example, I am creating a particular template. Say for example, I am creating an expense report. Okay. So let's try creating that. So this is an expense report, name of the company. So all the fields are already created. I just have to enter the data. So name of the company, okay. I go back to home. What is the purpose? I am saying travel expenses, employee information, name of the employee, department. So this is nothing but a template. I am just entering the details. All right. SSN, I don't need employee ID. I'm just entering some information. What is the pay period? I enter all this. Now there is already a pre-created, let me expand this, just zoom it a bit. There is already a pre-created list. Okay. You would wonder, how am I getting this list here? Okay. So let me quickly show you this particular function today. Now I am going to create a particular report where I am collecting data of a particular team, and I will also use this data to create a graph. This graph will also allow me to create an analysis. How do I do that? So what I am doing is I am creating a database of employees. Okay, name, age, gender, qualification, year, which year the person has cleared, what is the score of the person. So let me get rid of this. Okay, what is the score of the person, and DOJ basically means date of joining. Now I have entered some fields here. This field needs to be filled by employees. Now in a normal scenario, let me quickly show you how people would usually enter this data and how it should be done. So there are ways of entering data. I will tell you how to do that. If you enter the data in a normal way, and if you enter the data in a very organized way, what is the difference? I will quickly show you. So I'm going to add 5 names here. Okay. So I've entered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How did I know this is 5? Because when I select all these names, you will get to see the count here. Okay, that's one amazing function Excel has. It shows 5, and I'm on sheet number 1. So let me quickly add the age, which will be in terms of years. Okay. Now all these people are entering. Now this is a user defined field. All these people are entering the gender. All right. Now what is happening is one person has said MALE with capital M, one person is saying capital M only, one person is saying lowercase m. This is a spelling mistake and this is a full form with capital F. Now they are entering the qualification as well. Now scores, they are just entering details the way they want. Date of joining, they are entering the date. Each person is entering details in whichever way they feel like, all right. Now, if I have to show this data to someone, what are the problems I will face? First and foremost, it doesn't even look like this is a header. Okay. Now, all the data or pretty much the entire sheet is not really organized. If I have to show the same data in a different way, which is a much organized way, how would I do that? First of all, I will make the header center alignment and I will put a background color. How do I do a background color? I will remain in home. You see there are two tabs here with color. The right one is for font, the left one is for background. So I'll put a background and I will make it bold, which means this is a header. Second, this particular text is not really visible completely. I want all the text to be equally visible. So between A and B, this line, when you double click, select the whole thing and double click, it will automatically pick a particular alignment which suits each and every cell. Now remember, in your Excel sheet, the first column, the data should always be left indent. The remaining information, the data should always be center indent. That's a rule. Okay. Now the problem is, every person has entered details in whichever way they feel like, right? For the year, this is fine. For score also, this is not really fine. For date of joining also, this is not really fine. So I want to standardize it. How do I do that? Come to a particular cell, go to data and click on data validation and select list. Basically, I am creating a drop down. What am I creating here? Gender. So I will say capital MALE, comma, without space, capital FEMALE. The moment I do that, you see the drop down button. I will simply copy this blank field, paste it to the remaining ones. So when I am moving my cursor, if I have to enter a data, I will have to choose between male and female. By default, I can enter only this. If I try to enter something else, it won't allow me because the data cell is logged. I can either enter male or female, which means the data will be absolutely standardized. Coming to qualification, again data validation, I will say list. BSc, BCom, BA. So I just entered a list of qualification. Again, I will say OK, and I will copy this to the remaining ones. Now, if they have to choose, they will have to choose only from this list. They cannot enter anything else. Here is straightforward. Score, I want whatever number gets entered, I want it as percentile only. So I will click on the percent button. So whatever I enter, the percentage button will automatically pick up, which means this is going to be standardized. Coming to date, select all the cells, right click and say format cells. Okay. Click on date and choose what is the format you are looking for. The best format for date is always the date in number, month in words, and the year. That's the best way because there will not be any confusion. Now I have selected the format, so let's remove this. Let's remove all the information. The person enters the name. Now I'm entering the age. I will quickly copy paste just to save the time. Now I will quickly enter the data from the drop down. Qualification, it's BSc, BTech, the year, I want to copy this to save time. Score, so 85, date of joining 1st March 14. So automatically it will pick up the same style. Twelfth. Now here you don't even have the year, so we'll enter some year now. Okay. Now let's compare how my data looks like between these two. So my first sheet has this style. So you look at it and you can figure which one is looking better. The first sheet looks like this and the second sheet looks like this. Obviously this sheet looks more organized and more professional. It's looking extremely standardized and extremely uniform, neat and tidy. Here all my data is all jumbled up. If I have to derive how many male employees do I have, I can't even do that. Here I can quickly do it. How? I will select this header and I will click on filter. Click on the gender. Now it will filter only male. I can quickly select all this and I will get this count as 4. That's a helpful feature of the filter button. Okay. Now I can also do conditional formatting. I can also do sorting. For example, I want to sort all the employees in terms of age, younger to older. So I will select the entire sheet. Please ensure you always select the entire sheet when you are sorting a data, otherwise it won't show properly. Age, years, so I will say smallest to largest. Now Ravi is the youngest, Anjan is the eldest. Now the entire data is also changing. Ravi's qualification is BTech 2013 74%, right? Even when I am sorting it, it shows the same. BTech 2013 74%. Now if I do not select all the cells and I sort only this, then you know what will happen? Say for example, I select this and I say smallest to youngest. So I am just saying expand selection, continue with the current selection. When I do this, every data will change. The fact is Ravi is 22 years old, 2013 74%, but here it shows he is 24 years old, because only this cell has changed in terms of the order. So you have to select everything. The same can happen in terms of year, smallest to largest, or I want to sort it with the score. I want to sort it with the date of joining. I can sort it the way I want, or I want to sort it alphabetical way, okay, whichever way I want. If my data is standardized, it helps, but if the data is not standardized, say for example this one, my data is not standardized, so obviously I will not be able to sort it in an effective manner, okay. So doesn't really, for example this 17th September is coming as a second last data, which is Ram, but actually it should be the third data, because here the year is not mentioned and here the year is mentioned. So the person missed entering the year. So when your data is sanitized and standardized like this, it helps a lot in terms of organizing, in terms of sorting. All right. So let's move on. Now I want to create a graph for the age, for the name of the person. Yesterday I showed you how you can get a graph, a simple graph. I just want the name and the score. So I say insert graph. I can pick whichever graph I want. Here it's showing the score, but I don't know the individual score. I will right click and say add data labels. So now it's showing the score on top, right? I can also change how this graph looks like. For example, right now I have this entire graph made randomly based on alphabetical order. I want to change this in terms of the score, lowest to highest, or say highest to lowest. The moment I change it, it will change here as well. Now when I change the order, I want to make cosmetic changes to the graph, because everybody is showing as blue. What I want to do is, anybody who scored over and above 80% will be green, and anywhere below 70 will be shown as yellow, okay. So click on this particular bar, double click, right click and say format data points and say fill, solid fill, and you can select whatever color you want. So I want to make it green. Person who has scored 74 is fine, but somebody has scored 69, I want to change the color to yellow. Okay. I also want to change the background of this value. I want to bring it in top. I can just drag it. I want to change the background color. So I can say fill. So I change the color. If I want to change the font color, I can change from here. I want to make it bold. I can just say Control B, and that is done. The floor of the 3D diagram is not looking good, it's looking plain. I can say format floor, solid fill. I can change it to whatever color I want. Okay. So this is my axis, this is a name axis, this is a score axis. Now what I want to do is, I want to add another information, okay, in terms of their age as well. Now when I am talking about score, this is a straightforward number on a scale of 1 to 100 in terms of percentage. But when I am talking about age, this is a different information altogether, right? But I want to show who is what age as a part of the graph. How do I do that? So I will select this entire, so let me bring it a little up so that it's visible. Okay. So what I will do is, I will select the entire data and I will expand it. Now it's not allowing me to expand because it's a different data variable altogether. Just give me a moment, I want to quickly check if it's possible or not. Format selection. Okay, it's not possible in this case. Basically, I'm trying to show you if we can create another axis, and that will be the right axis. So I will create another data for you, all right? That will be helpful to show another axis for you guys. But it should be possible in this way as well. I'm just trying to see if it does allow me. Okay, there you go. Okay, so what I did, I said select data and I selected column number 1, sorry, A, B as well as F. Now if you see, the age is coming in terms of this, okay, and this is a score, it changed completely, right? So I want to change it. So I'll go back. It's not really possible in this particular field, but what I'm trying to do is, I'm trying to create another axis. So I will quickly show you in the next session how you can create another axis if you want to show multiple data, right? It's quite possible to show multiple data in one particular graph. All right, so saving a workbook, we know how to open a workbook and save a workbook. Entering data, I showed you, you can just double click on a particular cell and you can start entering data. How do we select the data? You can just click on a particular cell and you can highlight, you can use your keyboard as well, you can use mouse to move, copy and paste. I showed you yesterday. Yesterday I showed you in terms of paste special, all right. Let's look at paste special once again. So I have created a particular sheet which may have certain formula here, okay. For example, this particular data, which is the year, if I control C and on a new document, If I do paste special and values, it will come as a number because Excel picks that up as a number. But if I'm picking an information from a source, okay, say for example, let me quickly open a website. I want to copy a text from a particular source. And if I copy the text and paste it on Excel, I'll show you how it will look and how it should look. So I copied this. If I say Control V, oh, it's not picking up, just a moment. See, if I say Control V, see how it comes. It's not even making sense. So what will I do? I will come here, paste special, and I will paste it as a text. When I say text, it will come exactly like a text on the field. So let me zoom it a bit. If I am doing a direct paste, it will come like this because it will pick the same format of the source. But if I do paste special and I say text, it will come as a text like the way it should. All right. So there are various aspects in terms of Excel that can be done. Like I told you, the most important aspect is the formula. I'm going to do that in the next session, but I'm just doing a quick recap in terms of the autofill functions. For example, if I mention any data somewhere, I can drag the cells and make the Excel autofill the remaining data where I'm not manually entering information. So let me show you a quick example how to do that. Say for example, I'm entering a particular number series which is 101 and I want it to show till 150. So I can just drag it. Now if I'm dragging it, it just shows 101, 101, so on and so forth, because I did not define how it should come. So I need to add one more cell, 102. Now Excel will understand that it should be a sequential increment. So it will come automatically. It doesn't really work with alphabet though. I really want this function to be incorporated in Excel. I hope that happens one day. So if you have entered a series of information, it will automatically copy the entire series. But it won't go in a sequential basis. The sequential basis works in terms of number, in terms of year, for example, 2001, 2002, because obviously it's still considering as a number, but it works in terms of date. For example, 1st of April 2017, 2nd April 2017. So now it will automatically pick in sequential basis. If I am creating a pattern in terms of any gap, for example, I am giving a 2-day gap, it will automatically pick the gap as well, because Excel is smart enough to understand there is a gap of 2 days and automatically pick the gaps. Okay. It can be done in terms of days. I can again use a gap feature. It can be used in terms of month. Here also the gap feature will work. Okay. So that is about autofill. So when you're working in Excel, you definitely want to make your life easy. You want to save as much as time as possible in terms of number crunching, in terms of analysis, and Excel gives you that kind of functionality, that kind of ability to save time and bring in accuracy. Okay. But the accuracy is completely based on the data input. So if your data input is not accurate, obviously remaining information or the result is not going to be accurate. So I wanted to quickly show you what features it has. In the next session, I will cover the formula. We will pick different kinds of formula. I will show you how you can write the formula yourself, or how you can use the Excel wizard or the built-in formula in Excel in order to create formula. I will also show you an important topic, an important function called pivot table, where you can do a lot of analysis. All right. So I'll see you in the next session. Please do post your questions, whatever questions you have. I would love to answer them. All right. Thank you so much.